It's a giant competition, man. Remember that. At my job, there's this 45, 50-year-old guy who works in the back office, probably making like 65K a year, right? And I don't know if he's married, I don't know. I think he has kids, but he's not super happy, right? And he goes to work every day and he's fat and he doesn't look great, right? And you could tell, like, the first word that comes to mind when I look at him every time is depressed. And he obviously is not living the ideal life. Nobody wants to do it. Now, some people will want to be able to do that, live that calm life, but on average, you want more. You want to be more. You want more, right? And while we were having a work meeting for all of us, I remember we were bringing up like the term of competition, how the company that I work at, I have two jobs. So one of the jobs is like really laid back, right? So there's not really much competition compared to something like Wall Street or something like a bank, right? And, a lot of people were saying that's good, like it's relaxed, it's calm, we're not competing with each other. And, some jobs like that are cool because it's relaxed, right? And the thing that came out of this 45, 50-year-old man's voice was, we're not in competition at all. I used to be so competitive when I was like 20, 25 years old. And like, I used to get into fights and like, I was a big sports player and I would compete with everybody. But, we're not in competition with one another. We're really not in competition with one another. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm happy with everything. It's calm. I don't need more. That's fine. He doesn't need more, right? But the whole time I was thinking this guy is completely wrong. Now I have this job because I am competing. That whole time I do my other job while I'm at that job, or I start my company while I'm at that job, right? Let's get that established. What he's saying is just completely incorrect. And I don't care if I'm that young guy who has that young energy and people will say, oh, because he's 50, he has more wisdom than you. No, he's not correct. You are constantly in competition with one another, constantly. It is like the self-improvement gurus where they say like, the second you don't go to the gym and play a video game, somebody's gonna get your future wife. Dude, it's facts. It's facts. I know it sounds extreme. It's completely freaking facts. It might sound crazy to some. It's facts. Completely freaking facts. The second you slow down, somebody will catch up. If you don't spend your waking hours taking action one way or another, if you sit just scrolling on TikTok, you are screwed in the future. You might be okay now, but you will be screwed in the future. Say you're a good-looking guy, right? But if you spend your time all day by yourself and don't really have many friends and don't play sports, that's going to catch up to you. And the girl that you like will be attracted to the guy who looks good and also knows how to play sports and also has friends. Or let's say with money, you could have this stable job. Maybe you get $100K a year salary, and then there's a guy who has the woman that you want that's making $300K a year. There's levels. There's always competition, and there's no escaping that. And love is extremely rare. Even when you think that you have love, I was convinced I had love, and I was betrayed, right? And I believed anybody who saw it would have believed it, right? That they would have believed that, oh, this woman loves you. And maybe she did, who knows, right? But obviously not because of what she did. It's about value. Now, love could be rare. I'm not gonna say like, all people are now focused on value and Machiavellianism and all that. That's not going to destroy my entire outlook on life. But value matters so much. And if you're wasting your time focusing on dumb shit, like reading like a book of like philosophy, so many people are going to say, I like philosophy. You're going to spend time working on your engine in your car. There's no ROI. Get that through your head, dude. There's no ROI in doing so many of the tasks that you do during the day. The only tasks that will get you further are the business that you start or the job that you start that is scalable, that does not have that barrier of like 100K. You want to cross that barrier. Don't get comfortable in that area. Don't get comfortable with just having that one girl that you think loves you, but then you don't like. I'm not saying to have a backup plan, right? But you could still talk to people, right? You should still have more friends. You should still have a network, because when shit hits the fan, it's gonna fucking burn. And the fact that you committed all of your time to this woman who said that they love you, but then instantly they could always switch just like that the second you don't have that value. The second you start gaining some weight because of going to restaurants with her, or the second you start, being overwhelmed, or you're sick, especially if you're sick. Dude, stop. You need to spend every freaking minute of your day. I'm telling you this because this was what I wrestled with, man. I always thought of the word of work, like work-life balance, or I always thought of, keeping just doing some work and then having time to relax. There's no time. How do I get this through your head? There's no time. I'm not being an extremist. I'm not just pushing you to make you feel motivated. There's not much time. I'm telling you, I'm 21. It flew by this quick, and the struggle that you're dealing with at 16 still exists at 21. And girls, you get the market is the dating market, super competitive. The job market, super competitive. Everybody talks about it. To get a house, super competitive. Spend every single minute to adapt and beat the competition. This is complete capitalism. This is complete. It's just how it works. It's how it works, right? And maybe every now and then you think there's going to be an exception, right? There's going to be people, maybe you have this 100K a year remote job and you move to some place in Europe, so your expenses are cheaper and your living condition is cheaper, and you meet this girl on vacation. You guys are together for a year and a half and you guys completely love each other, right? That sounds like it's going to be good. It sounds good. I'm telling you right now, I'm not trying to think negatively. I'm not always trying to already put you in that negative mindset, but always be prepared for shit to hit the fan. Always, always, always be prepared for shit to hit the fan. There's this quote from Heat, the movie with Robert De Niro, and it is, I'm going to tell you it exactly very, very quickly. Do not fucking leave the video. Okay. Heat. Don't let yourself get attached to anything you are not willing to walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. That is a king. That is king of a quote. Remember that. Things you think you might be that exception. You think you might have slipped through the cracks and found the thing that you wanted, or you found a life hack, dude. There's levels to this shit. There's a lot of levels to this shit, and you need to be extreme to get the things that you really want deep down, the desires you really want deep down. Stop wasting your time reading a stupid book on philosophy or freaking physics, right? Stop focusing on your freaking school grades like crazy, unless you're doing something that's gonna focus onto your career. But guess what? Calculus 2 isn't going to do jack shit. And I know this might sound like common sense, but the amount of people I saw in my Calculus 2 class who are smarter than me, who would be spending hours of their day studying and doing homework and stressed out for this final exam when it should be channeled into other areas, smarter areas. Now, don't fail out of school, but you can, I'm not telling, be smart. There's AI now. There's a lot of loopholes you can make to make that shit like a much less of a pain in your life. Focus on shit that matters. Make content. Post it. Post on TikTok. Post on Instagram. Just put out quantity. Quantity, quantity, quantity. Ignore that hopelessness feeling when you get shitty views. Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. You do something for 10, 20 years, you're getting success with it. Remember that. As long as you don't quit, you don't lose. That's the secret to the universe. Remember that. The secret to the universe is if you try your absolute hardest at anything, you're going to get it. And no, that's not cope. I've been fully black-pilled, right? If you have the mentality where you will keep going until you get the desired destination and you try your absolute best, not think you try your absolute best. For example, you run a mile in 6 minutes and that's your best mile time, but what would be your best if there was a bear chasing you? Now, I'm not telling you to do that every single day because that's unsustainable, but that's how it works. Nobody actually tries their best, nobody. And if you channel out 30 freaking videos a day, if you channel out 100 ads a day, if you keep putting in the volume and put so many hours into something that you can't lose, it would be unreasonable for you to score poorly. You're gonna make it. You're gonna freaking make it. Stop wasting your time with dumb shit, thinking about your freaking diet. Well, just eat the freaking chicken. Stop eating the freaking stupid cupcakes. Everybody knows you just want to get lean and shredded to look good, to get the huzz. Get lean. It takes 2 months of eating chicken and a little bit of training and cardio. That's freaking it. You already know what you have to do. You don't even need the freaking MyFitnessPal. If you really wanted it bad enough, you would know exactly what to do, and you wouldn't even freaking think about it. You would know instantly, I'm going to do this. I'm so locked in. Nothing else matters in my head right now. I'm getting to the goal. Focus on your family. Focus on helping them. Focus on helping your future children. Focus on them. Focus on God. Focus on the connection with Him at church. Focus on your finances. Focus on your company, starting your company, buying that property early, and being the first person in your friend group who already has a property. Focus on getting that beautiful woman who is completely loyal to you and loves you no matter what, that not even men who put so much effort in can get. Do anything to get the result. If you try your hardest, the secret to the universe is if you actually try your hardest, you can't lose. And if you don't have what you want, you're not trying hard enough, or you're not locked in, you don't believe it deep down. I'm telling you, I swear on my life that's true. You think you're locked in, you are fucking not. Until you go through that shit, then you'll be locked in.